Ang Lee's 2003 Hulk movie was supposed to have a sequel. Now let's find out what it could have been. Known for his Oscar-winning work, Lee crafted a deeply emotional story about inherited trauma, all wrapped up in the guise of a superhero movie. Although the film did fairly well at the box office, it barely covered its production and marketing costs. It also received mixed reviews, which didn't exactly lay a smooth path for a sequel. Despite these challenges, there was a buzz about a potential sequel. Various interviews revealed that the producers had initially hoped to continue Bruce Banner's story in a sequel. However, things got complicated when Marvel decided to take a different direction with their own Incredible Hulk movie. It's common in the superhero movie world to wonder what the next adventure will be. Producer Avi Arad was already thinking ahead while the first film was still in production, and when Ang Lee asked about the future, Avi Arad shared his vision of creating something even more spectacular in a sequel. Although the sequel's details were sparse, producer Avi Arad did hint at what could have been explored further. He suggested that the next film might have delved deeper into Bruce Banner's inner conflicts, teasing that we could have seen more of Bruce's inner demons. A potential storyline that points to a continuation of the intense and dramatic themes from the first movie. Producer Avi Arad shared a few tantalizing details about this sequel, hinting that it would have explored Bruce Banner's struggles. Although the first film lightly touched on Bruce's inner turmoil, the sequel promised a more in-depth exploration of his mental and emotional battles. What's particularly intriguing about this proposed storyline is that these internal conflicts were set to bring forth a new side of Bruce, the Grey Hulk. A completely different Hulk personality. Unlike the well-known Green Hulk, who is more savage and chaotic, the Grey Hulk is a unique personality of Bruce Banner. This version of the Hulk is known for speaking clear, proper English and often has a sarcastic tone. He maintains better control over his actions, and although still incredibly strong, he is not as overwhelmingly powerful as his green counterpart. This plot twist would have added a fascinating layer to Bruce's character, illustrating the complex battle between his various personas. Not many people know that the Hulk was originally supposed to be gray. Stan Lee, the creator of Hulk, initially envisioned the character in this color, but due to technical issues with the ink, Hulk turned out green. This little issue is an interesting backstory in the comics. The Grey Hulk was said to be the first version of Hulk that appeared when a gamma bomb hit Bruce Banner. However, because of Banner's continued exposure to gamma radiation, the more commonly known Green Hulk, or Savage Hulk, came to dominate. In the second part of the Immortal Hulk comic series, the Grey Hulk is a significant character. His appearances are rare, and the comics explain this by showing that inside Bruce Banner's subconscious, the Grey and Green Hulks are in constant battle. The Green Hulk, with his superior strength, usually wins, which is why we see the Savage Hulk persona more often. The Grey Hulk represents everything Bruce Banner is too hesitant to do. He's tricky, manipulative, and cunning, often showing little regard for others. This version of Hulk can lift about 75 tons, and interestingly, his strength increases with his anger, just like the Green Hulk. However, this happens more slowly because the Grey Hulk possesses a level of intelligence and reasoning that prevents him from losing control as quickly as the Savage Hulk does. This different character trait would have offered a deeper look into the complexities of Hulk's personality in the sequel. Speaking about the sequel and personalities, we would have seen Eric Banner's return. If there had been a sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk, Eric Banner would reprise his role as both Bruce Banner and his formidable alter ego, the Hulk. The Australian actor first brought the character to life in the film that hit theaters on June 17, 2003, marking his only portrayal of the green-skinned superhero. Reflecting on his experience, Banner has shared mixed feelings about his time as Hulk. He found it challenging and sometimes isolating, as the role required him to be separated from the rest of the cast for a significant part of the filming. This separation contributed to his frustration, dampening his overall experience. Moreover, Banner wasn't initially keen on sequels. In a recent interview, he revealed that when he first accepted the role in 2003, he viewed it as a standalone project, not expecting to return to the character in future films. This perspective adds an interesting layer to the what could have been scenario of a sequel, suggesting that returning to the role might have also been a complex decision for him. But surely he'd have returned had there been a sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk, along with many other familiar faces from the first movie. Jennifer Connelly, Sam Elliott, Josh Lucas, and Nick Nolte would have also returned to continue their roles. While some may argue that Banner's portrayal of Bruce Banner wasn't the most captivating, he was undeniably a perfect fit for the Hulk's intense and complex personality. His embodiment of the Hulk captured the essence of the character's internal struggle and raw power, making him a pivotal piece in the puzzle of the film's cast. This potential reunion of the original cast in a sequel would have added a deeper layer of continuity and development to the story, exploring new depths in the characters' journeys. Hulk's journey isn't very smooth, and the sequel would have also shown us just that, exploring Bruce's psyche as well as his relationship with Betty. Plans for a sequel promise to dive deeper into Bruce's complex psyche and chaotic relationship with Betty Ross. The first film only scratched the surface of Bruce's internal conflicts and fraught relationship with his father, which influenced his interactions with Betty. The proposed sequel would have focused on exploring how Bruce and Betty's relationship could evolve, considering the enormous secret Bruce carries with him. This deeper exploration of their dynamic could have brought a more human element to the superhero narrative, emphasizing emotional depth and character development over traditional action sequences. Imagine if this storyline had been pursued. The film could have offered a more nuanced portrayal of Bruce, giving audiences a relatable look at his struggles with identity and control. The sequel also had something different with the villainy plans. Imagine a superhero movie. Now, imagine it without any villains. It doesn't sound as exciting, right? Well, for the planned sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk, not just one, but two villains were set to shake things up. Producer Avi Arad revealed that the sequel was intended to feature both the Leader and Abomination, two classic adversaries from the Hulk comics. This certainly sets the stage for some major showdowns. You may be wondering how they would have fit all of this into one movie. Luckily, James Shamus, who was one of the writers for the original Hulk movie, shared some of his ideas back in 2014. He envisioned the sequel taking an intriguing turn by setting much of the action on a Native American reservation, with a storyline deeply intertwined with themes of radioactivity. This setting would not only provide a unique backdrop, but also align well with the Hulk's origin story, which is heavily tied to gamma radiation. The military, intrigued by the extraordinary powers that Bruce Banner transformed into after his exposure to gamma radiation, decides to double down on their experiments. Their goal? To replicate the conditions that turned Bruce into the Hulk in hopes of creating their own super soldiers. This risky business sets the stage for the emergence of two formidable villains, the Abomination and the Leader. With the Leader, known for his super intelligence and mind control abilities, and Abomination, who matches Hulk's brute strength, the stakes would have been incredibly high. The dynamic between these villains and Hulk could have explored new depths of Bruce Banner's character, challenging him in ways that test both his physical and mental limits. Bruce Banner would find himself in a challenging new role in the planned sequel. Not only would he need to deal with these powerful new adversaries, but he'd also take on a more distinctly heroic mantle. Why was the original sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk canceled? It all came down to timing and production decisions. In 2006, Marvel took control of the production because Universal Studios didn't start filming by the deadline they were given. This delay caused the initial plans for the sequel to be scrapped forever. When Universal missed this crucial deadline, it didn't just delay the film, it ended up permanently canceling the original sequel plans. However, only some things from the sequel were lost. When Marvel rebooted the Hulk franchise with the 2008 film The Incredible Hulk, they incorporated some elements that were intended for Ang Lee's sequel. This included certain plot ideas and character developments that had been envisioned for the continuation continuation of the 2003 film. While the 2008 movie picked up some threads from Lee's concept, many fans still regret that they never saw the original sequel come to life. Like many projects in Hollywood, this one is remembered as a what could have been, a potentially great film that never made it off the drawing board. Maybe we could still see some of Ang Lee's visions come to life in a new form. What do you think? Could there be a chance for a revival or a new twist on these old plans in the future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments sections below.